Good evening. Today, in today's video, we are going to be talking about sequence and series again, but we are going to focus more today on series because in my previous video, I did a lot more on sequence. So today, what is series all about? A series of a sequence. A series is just the sum of the sequence, the sum of all the numbers in the sequence you are working with. Let's take for example that we have in our sequence that we are using today. We are going to be doing arithmetic progression. In arithmetic progression AP now, we have sequence of numbers. We have A1, A2, A3 down to AC. Down to AC. Remember the reason why I'm using AC, because the subscript C starts my name Chukwuebuka, and I love my name so very much. So now the next one we're going to do here now is we're going to check how we get the terms of AP. Now if we have the first term to be A, the second term, remember in my last video I said if, because a sequence, it's not always true that a sequence must have a particular way which it follows to form numbers. Just like in prime numbers, prime number doesn't have a particular way which it follows, but even numbers have. Even number is multiplied by 2. Even numbers is 2n, then odd numbers is 2n plus 1 or 2n minus 1. Then odd numbers are, this is odd number, this is even what number, and the normal counting numbers, it is what, n plus 1. So but prime number doesn't have a specific it doesn't have a particular way which can use to form their numbers. And remember, for you to prove that something is wrong, you just need only one thing to contradict the whole cases. And I've seen that prime number did that, so that is why I say it is not always true. But I say again, what if we have a case where you have a fixed pattern which it follows? We now saw arithmetic progression, geometric progression. So now to get arithmetic progression, it has a common difference, which if you add the next term, if you add to the previous term, you get the next term. So now, and let's call that number D, common difference. Yes. So now to get the second term, it is what, A plus what, D. Now to get the third term is A plus what, 2D, or A2 plus D. To get the next one is what, A plus 3D, or A3 plus D. So that is the only thing till A plus n minus 1 D. Now I want to say this term now, this n minus 1, if you watch here now, if you look at this one, here it says A plus 2D. Why do you have 2D? You have D here, another D here. If A is to be 3, if you have 1, 3, 5, 7, If A is to be 1, now you want to get this, and the common difference here is what, 2. 1 plus 2 is going to give us what, 3, which is this one. Here is A, and here is A plus B. And to get this one, you have either 3 plus 2 or 1 plus 4. Now this is what, A plus 2D, while this one is what, A plus, and while this one is A2 plus, this is A1 plus 2D, while this one is A2 plus D. So that is all what I'm trying to explain here. So now this n minus 1 is the term before the nth term. When you carry out all this operation now, multiply by this, then add it to this first term, you are going to get the nth term. So what am I? We now go over to, that will take us now to what, series. If we remove all these commas here and put our addition sign, this is saying that series is what, is a summation of all the sequence of all the values of all the numbers in a sequence. It is series. So let's say for instance that this is the sequence we are working with. This is the sequence we are working with, and we want to find the sum, we want to find the series of the first number only, of the first term. S1 equal to what? A. S1 is equal to A, because it's just the only number there. If A is equal to 1, meaning that the sum of the first term of that number is what? 1, because 1 plus 0 is what? 1. So now the next one, if you are looking for the S2, sum of two terms, sum of the first two terms in that sequence, we have what? A plus D, to give us what? 2A plus D. So whatever thing it is, that is not our business. So now the first three terms, it is what? A plus D plus A plus 2D, to give us what? This is 3A plus 3D. You see that? So now down till Sn is equal to what? A plus D plus A plus 2D plus plus A plus bracket open n minus 2D plus A plus a bracket open n minus 1D. So when you get to this place, when you get to this stage now, it is okay. So this is the sum to what? To n. But what if they tell us to? What if we are given that D is equals to 3 and A is equals to 15. Find the sum of the first 50. So find the sum of the first 50 numbers. Are you going to be doing, okay, let's say that A is equals to 2. Are you going to say 2 plus 3 is what? 5. 5 plus 3 is what? 8 plus 3 is 11. Are you going to be? No. That is why they generated a formula that is going to take care of what? Even if they ask you to find the sum of the first 100 numbers, there is a formula that is going to take care of that, and that is what I will be doing now. So this is the sum to n. This is the sum what? To n. I believe from here to here you might have understood what I meant, what I mean. So without wasting much time, I will now go over to what? Generating, or yes, how to generate the formula for sum, partial sum of all the arithmetic what? Progression. Partial sum actually. So now we now say that the sum to n is equal to what? A plus A plus D plus A plus 2D plus plus A bracket plus bracket open n minus 2 n minus, okay, let me start from n minus 3, n minus 3D plus A plus bracket open n minus 2D plus A plus bracket open n minus 1D. So when you get to this now, we're going to arrange it again. Like arranging it now, we're going to start from this very side, turn it like this. So we're going to start from A plus bracket open n minus 1 D plus A plus bracket open n minus 2 plus A plus bracket open n minus 3 of 1 2 3 of 1 2 3 D plus plus A plus 2D. We have 1 2 3 here again. We have plus A plus D. We have plus what? A. Now we'll call this one equation 1. We'll call this one what? 2. If you like, call it equation. If you like, call it anything. What we are going to add now, we are going to say add 1 and 2. When you add 1 and 2, whatever you do to the left side, you do to the right hand side. So Sn plus Sn is going to give us 2Sn. Let me start this here. 2Sn is equal to this plus this is going to give us A plus n minus 1D plus A plus D plus a plus n minus 2d. We now have plus again, a plus 2d, now plus this one, a plus n minus 3d, plus dot dot dot, plus this one, a plus n minus 3d, plus a plus 2d. I'll now come down here again and I'll say a plus n minus 2d plus a plus d. I'll now say plus again a plus n minus 1d plus a. So I'll now say again 2sn is equal to a plus a is, this is give me 2a plus n minus 1 d plus again this is going to give me 2a plus, this is 2a plus here we have d plus nd minus 2d. This 2d minus d is going to give us what? D. So actually what we're having now is nd minus d. So to make it look like this, we have nd minus d, and this is equal to what? N minus 1 d. So to make it look like this, I clean this and I write 2a plus what? N minus 1 d. I will now put it in a chain bracket. I will now say plus again. I'll go back to this. I've done this. I'll go back to this. I will now say again. This is 2a plus, this is 2d plus nd minus 3d, and we have minus 3d. We have minus 3d plus 2d is going to give us what? Minus d. And here we have nd minus d, and this is n minus 1 all bracket d. So instead of writing this, I'll just write this because I've shown it here. So we have what? N minus 1 d. I'll say again plus dot 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 plus. I'll now come over to this one. I'll have 2a again plus, this is n minus 3d, and this is 2d. If we check here again, we see n minus 3d, 2d, so we have the same thing. I'll now say n minus 1d. I'll say again plus, here we have n minus 2d and a plus d, and that is what we have here, n minus 2d, a plus d, so it is the same thing. And I'll say 2a plus n minus 1 d. I'll say again plus, this same thing is this same one, 2a plus n minus 1 d. So if we look, we'll see that there's something that is common among all of them. We now say 2sn is equal to what? The first one is what? We say this is 1, 2. Remember, I want you to remember something. I want you to recall something. We are doing sum to what? To n. We don't know where this number stopped. I just chose n to be my what? My terminal number. So n can be anything. So this is what? The first, the second, the third, so many numbers are here till, so this is my nth term. So I will now say that this is what? N brackets. This is 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus, this is 1 plus 1 plus 1. So this is 3. There are many numbers here till, so that is why I wrote n here. That is what? N number of times. It's occurred n number of what? Of times. So now we'll go back to 2a plus, this is what? N minus 1 d. This is n minus 1 d. So now this is the formula, but they asked us to find what? To derive the formula for sum to what? To n, not double sum to n. So we now say, we divide both sides by 2. We now have that this is equal to Sn is equal to n over 2 bracket 2a plus bracket open n minus 1 d. So this is the formula for what? For solving the sum, the partial sum of what? Arithmetic progression. I don't want to bore you with lengthy video. I wish to stop here in this video, and in my next video I'll be doing that of geometric progression and so on. Thank you very much. Do have a nice day.